What's going on, guys? We are back with some more of the weekly pick'ems with. Do you want to be called by anything, or what do you want to be called? Okay, Dakota, and we're gonna be going over my picks for last week. Colts, yeah, Colts and the Jets. I picked the Colts to win. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Mm. Well, pick anyone that's playing the Jets, so. Unless it's the Bengals. Next game, Minnesota versus Baltimore. This game was a lot closer than I thought it would be. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I think it helps that he only has to get him past the 50, so. Because as soon as they pass the 50, they're in field goal range. Yeah. 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 Without him, they would not. They would be three and. They would have Yeah. Yeah, they would. They. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. 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 Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, but as a Browns fan, I've witnessed some bad special teams. um, but I feel like they don't make as big of an impact on the scoreboard. It's more like the mental aspect. Because I remember there were a few games where missed, they get an extra point and something like that. I'm like, well, yeah, they it it feels like it's more like a momentum switch than. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll get to that. Yeah, yeah. Um, Next game, New England at Carolina. I mean, yeah, and I don't know what about, but yeah, they did sign Cam Newton's, but I think Darnold's gonna be out for a long time. So that's why they did it. And I think it's kind of a last desperate stand to help save their season. Because, I mean, who else are you really gonna call? Yeah, 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 yeah. But it's also a new coach. He only was there during the Ron Rivera era. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Um. And New England has another big game this week. But the only other quarterback I can think of is that I know for a fact is a free agent is Kaepernick, but I'm not gonna get in a whole political discussion over that. No, no, because did you not hear what he said this time? Yeah, he compared the combine to something. No. Yeah. Next game, Browns over the Bengals. I was surprised how I was surprised how lopsided this game was. Yeah, because yeah, honest, yeah, but honestly, I think what their thing is inconsistency. Because like I think it was like week 3, like they destroyed the Ravens. Like it was not really that close. Like and yeah, actually, Lamar's the running back, but yeah, no, yeah, and I mean that in like a respectful term. Like he is the best running back on the roster while still playing quarterback. Like if they had like a better quarterback, then he would definitely be playing running back. Yeah, yeah. But also, that's another problem. I'm gonna backtrack to the Ravens game a little bit, but it just seems like inconsistencies have plagued have plagued them because like they'll play like I'm sorry, but Minnesota they should have destroyed. Yeah, but yeah, but it's like it's almost like they play like down like their teams and they'll just like scrape it out. But like good teams will find a way to still win those games. And yeah, yeah, yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. I was joking. I was saying they're not dead yet. The Browns are not dead yet. I mean, yeah, yeah, yeah. Mhm. Um, ex- but I do think that their inconsistencies will come back to bite them. Will come back to bite the Ravens, and honestly, and this will be my last point about the Bengals. They're they're still young. Like their quarterback is second year. Their best wide receiver is first year. Like they're gonna have inconsistencies. It's gonna happen. Yeah. Actually, actually, he still has 3 years left. Burrow. Yeah. Yeah. Well. I assume that they'll take on the 5th year option, at least. So, if not, get him to an extension by then. Uh. hmm Just honestly, just focus on the defense and line, and they'll be a good team soon. Next game, Dallas versus the Broncos. Well, why you're a Cowboys fan? Oh, well, the Yeah. 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 hmm But yeah, and I think that yeah, that punt play was that punt play was unlucky. Uh, honestly, I thought so I thought the rule was why a muff punt counted as a first down was because it was past the it would usually be past the first down marker. Yeah. 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 No, but that's what I thought the rule was because like usually when it's a muff punt, it's like because a muff punt is like 60 yards downfield or something, and usually past the first down marker. And I would always think, oh, they recover the ball past the first down marker, so it must be a first down. But yeah, 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 yeah. hmm but I mean, I think the Cowboys will be fine, but I think they'll run into problems when they actually do get into the playoffs and that they face good teams consistently. That's where I think they could have some problems. But mm, yeah, 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 and could have been more, but Justin Tucker, it could have been more. Yeah. Well, I'm also a LSU fan, so I like Justin Jefferson, and yeah, and if the Bengals were not in our division, I would be cheering for them too. But no, New York. Uh, and next game is weird. Buffalo versus Jacksonville. Yeah. Mhm. Yes. Yeah. Mhm. Mm. But no, it'd just be a safety and a field goal, no, not two. Oh yeah, but yeah, both. Yeah. Mhm. Um, Buffalo will get on. Buffalo will get on another run though, probably, because look what happened after the Steelers game. They went on a tear after. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, yeah. New England's on their tail. Um, yeah, they've won 3 out of 4 because they did lose to Dallas. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Uh. Yeah. Didn't Josh Allen get like a triple? What's it called when a player gets a fumble, a touchdown, and an interception? Yeah, he got one of those. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Did 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 he have a touchdown? Oh, okay. Well, it could have been a missed extra point. So yeah. Next game, a game that I would call it weird, but Miami and Houston. Well, at the beginning of the year, you expected Miami to be a good borderline. Uh, uh, yeah, 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 definitely a playoff team at least, and yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. And and they obviously didn't expect them to be. They'd obviously not expect to be this bad because they would not have given them the first round pick to Philadelphia. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they're and anyway, on to the next game, Atlanta versus New Orleans. Did Atlanta shed their choking label after the World Series? Yeah. Only the only people I wanted to see on the Astros win a World Series was I wanted to see Greinke win one and Dusty Baker because I mean yeah yeah. But you have to admit that Alvarez is a beast though. Yeah, yeah. Alvarez. Mm-hmm. Uh. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Um. And New Orleans is another one of these teams that has just been inconsistent, super inconsistent. Because like it's like not even that because like 1 week they'll have like a really good game that looks like they'll beat the Bucks and the next week they'll lay an egg against. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But honestly, I don't really see their direction though, because like it's obvious. No, the uh Falcons, because Matt Ryan's not taking you anywhere. I'm sorry, but he's not. So like, yeah, yeah, yeah. hmm I mean, who's he gonna throw it to? Kyle Pitts. They, I did not really get that pick because on the one hand it was like you should have, you definitely should have drafted some defense. Like I think like in my mock draft I had like Parsons going to them. Yeah. 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 But yeah, but I don't think you should draft a luxury player pretty much with when you're gonna be bad for the next 3 to 5 years at least. I mean, but isn't it supposed to be like a weak quarterback class though?
Year, it's you are right about the direction for the
Yeah.
Falcons because it's not going very many places.
Uh, well, I'm sorry, but if you go back and watch this video, you're not gonna hear yourself for 20 minutes. I forgot to put the Discord audio on. That's my bad.
Oh
But
my goodness, that's okay.
hey, yeah. So it'll just be me talking. Let's just keep going though.
That's okay.
Hope no one notices.
That's all right.
um, uh, next game, Las Vegas. I would hate to be a Las Vegas fan. It's just so much,
There's a
much
lot
going on
going
that's
on.
off the field that because you had John Gruden who looks like a choir boy now. I mean,
They've had every problem off field that you can
yeah.
think of, other
I
than
mean,
like Derek Carr not getting
yeah.
hurt.
Uh,
You know,
uh, 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 the Henrik situation I went into last week, very stupid to do, and
hmm
that's all I'm gonna say about it. And then you have some guy threatening people,
oh my God,
and
it's
he
the
was
same draft class too.
yes, and he was they're both first round picks.
hmm
Like,
I'm pretty sure what was it? They were a part of the deal that sent Khalil Mack to Chicago. I'm pretty sure those were those like they sent him for 2 first-round picks, and Ruggs and Javante ended up being those two guys,
yeah,
and now they're both they're both released, and one's headed to prison. You know, the
they
Raiders
get
lost in every facet that they could, but the fact that they were even competitive in not only the division but in this game, I think talks a lot to the level of play for Derek Carr and the coaching that they have right now.
but at the same time, it's the Giants, so
That is true. The Giants, however, Daniel Jones, I have slurred Daniel Jones in my other podcasts, okay? But
hmm
this man is one of the most athletic quarterbacks in the game. I will
yeah,
say, as a Cowboys fan, I have to say it. He
but
is, and he plays hard too.
okay, but my problem with Daniel Jones is he had the same problem since his rookie season.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's like a top 10. Don't
Yeah,
get me wrong.
yeah,
But he's his level of play has improved, but he still has his issues when it comes to fumbling and making dumb
yeah.
mistakes, but his he definitely has improved. And the Giants, they're also one of the most injury prone teams in the game. I think the Ravens are the most. They have the most on IR, but the Giants have
hmm
once if they can get everybody back and they can be healthy, they could actually be a really good team. I'm not saying it's going to happen this year.
Yeah.
But Kadarius Toney is a phenomenal rookie.
When he's
Saquon's a
not
special
punching Trayvon
talent
Diggs.
when he's not punching Trayvon Diggs. You're right about that. But when you look at their IR, I mean, they're missing so many players who would be like key roles into winning close games
Yeah.
or losing close games. You know what I mean?
hmm
And so yeah, I really feel bad for the Giants, but I don't personally. But I
Yeah.
do feel bad when it comes to just looking at the whole injury
Well,
report.
but uh, I guess the question is, would you give Daniel Jones an extension?
Me, no, I wouldn't. I think they're too deep. And when it comes to injuries, I think you hold on to Saquon and you let Daniel Jones go. I think you start from new as much as you can. They
Well,
just signed Kenny Galladay, so he'll be there for a little bit.
well,
And I think that. Go ahead.
this year was the make or break year for Daniel Jones. He has weapons. He has everything.
Hmm.
This year was the make or break year.
Yeah. It just like I said to the injuries is just like how much do you attest to injuries? You know what I mean? You have to the individual stats. Unlike most of the time, like you said, when it comes to make or break years, is you look at the team and how well you were able to do because a quarterback's the cornerstone of your winning season.
Yeah.
So, but then that on top of that is injuries. And when you look at Daniel Jones, it's his individual production when he's not, having a concussion
Yeah.
or anything like that. When that's when I think you decided. But me personally, if I were the Giants, I would just start over.
Well, someone gave me some heat because I did a quarterback rankings list, and I put
Mhm.
Daniel Jones in C tier.
Oh my gosh.
And someone was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, I think he's like the quarterback that is like really bad at some things, but like really good at other things.
Yeah.
So like, my thought process was it kind of balances out. It balances out to C tier.
Hmm.
So that was my whole thought process on putting Daniel Jones in C tier. But okay, next game, Chargers versus Eagles. This game is a lot closer than I thought it was.
Yeah.
Eagles,
It it definitely swayed my opinion on the Chargers. Before their bye week, I thought that they were, going to be like an
yeah,
easily, high level playoff team, like, no doubt about it.
yeah,
But with their level of play in these past couple games and how close their games have been, they nearly, or they lost to the Patriots,
yeah,
which a lot of people have been. Um, but you lose to the Patriots, then you almost lose to the Eagles, which the Eagles aren't terrible, but
yeah.
they're not great. They're not the teams that you're gonna be seeing in the playoffs. So it makes me wonder if they're gonna be able to hold up against teams like Buffalo, like Kansas
Yeah.
City. They barely won against Cleveland, against the
hmm
Ravens. Are they gonna be able to pull it off against these teams?
And I will say this: I do think the Raiders did get. I mean, Chargers did get a little bit of help from the refs in the Browns game
Hmm. Yeah, yeah,
because like
I'm
there
not
was
gonna
like a
argue
fourth
that.
down where like someone literally held the one of the safeties jersey. I think it was like John Johnson's jersey,
Hmm.
and like he gets called for, like the pass interference.
Yeah, they've been a little interesting this year,
Yeah,
which we'll touch on definitely with the Steelers game.
yeah. Um, but like, did you almost every team that so what's the Browns? So they have two of their games. The week after they beat the Browns, they're like, oh, those teams are Super Bowl contenders.
Hmm.
Because I remember after the Chargers game, it's like, oh, are the Chargers the best team in the AFC? Are the Chargers the best?
No, no.
No, but I'm saying like at like the time. So at
Oh,
like
oh yeah, yeah.
yeah, at the time
I
everyone's
mean
talking
that
about that.
happens all the time too.
Yeah,
I mean I've said it before that when like beginning of last season, everybody thought that Russell Wilson was going to be the MVP of the league and that
yeah,
Kyler Murray was going to lead the Cardinals to a Super Bowl. Cardinals are more likely to do it this year, but the
yeah.
same thing happened with this year. Is the Seattle Seahawks started fast, Cardinals started fast, and they just
Well,
plummeted.
Cardinals are still going. So
Cardinals are still going. That's what I'm saying. But like the Seahawks, it's the same trend. Is like I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers, for maybe this year or next year, is they do the same thing. Is they start out super fast. They're 4-1, and then they go to 5-2, and then they just plummet. And I
hmm
wouldn't be surprised if they do the same thing. We'll see. Definitely, I hope not, because it just makes you less. Puts less faith into that,
Yeah.
less stock into that team. But we'll
Hmm.
see. But I'm really pulling for the Chargers because they have a really good young roster.
Hey, and let me just clear: the Browns should be the Browns' record should be a lot better because they've been never supposed to not play the Cardinals this season,
Yeah,
but they had to add that
they should be doing a
17th
lot better.
game.
I pull for the Browns every week. Nick Chubb
Yeah.
is my number one pick in fantasy this year, so I pull for him every week.
Well, we'll get to him later. Uh, Green Bay versus Kansas City. This game was ugly. I mean, I saw some
This
good. I
was
saw
the
some
fifth
bad
most
from.
watched game of the year.
It was.
Without Aaron Rodgers, this was the fifth most watched game. Or no, sorry, it was the third because it goes Bucks New England, goes Cowboys Chargers, then this game with the Chiefs, and then the last two are Cowboys versus I can't remember who else, but they were. This had like 25 million viewers, and it was a horrible game.
I mean, but I first quarter, Jordan Love looked like he had like really happy feet.
Hmm.
Like he was like rolling out like the pocket like as soon as he got the ball, and that
He looked like
is
Justin Fields when the Bears played the Browns, so like very uncomfortable.
no, but like I don't think I think Jordan Love was bailing quicker than Justin Fields was actually,
That's a talent right there.
but but in the second half I was impressed with what I saw from him.
Hmm.
He looked calm, even though he threw like the one, even though he threw like the one interception. But hey, it's his first start. He's gonna have that. And
Yeah.
what about his parents having like the worst scene
Oh my
ever?
god. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they probably chose that, but um no, if I'm if I'm a Packers fan, you're probably expecting Aaron Rodgers to not be there next year. Just with all the
Yeah.
drama that went on last season. Unless they say they win a championship this year, which I'm not
Hmm.
expecting them to, but say they do, then
Yeah.
that situation might change. Um but I'm not putting a ton of trust into Jordan Love because I don't. The Packers have had this great trend ever since Brett Favre is you draft them,
Yeah.
you let them sit for about 3 years, and then they come on and then they rip everybody apart like they did it with Aaron Rodgers, did it
Yeah.
with Brett Favre, and they do great. They let him develop, and they've
Wait,
done that
how
with
how
Jordan
long did
Love.
Brett Favre start?
I think he started right away. I meant like
Mm.
they've
Yeah.
hit on
Yeah.
quarterback. That's what I meant.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've
Like
hit on
quarterbacks.
quarterbacks for maybe 30 years now. Um, and then you hit Jordan Love, and it's like, okay, well, you're going to a very prolific passing organization. They're very good at what
Yeah.
they do, and he's got a ton of time to sit and learn from one of the best passers
Yeah.
that we've ever seen.
Hmm.
And he's playing against the Chiefs defense that is a horrible passing defense, and he puts together 7 points. You know what I mean? I
Hmm.
understand the first start thing, but I mean that's a horrible, horrible passing defense.
Yeah.
I feel like they should have done more.
Yeah, but also if you look at the receivers don't really have a lot of chemistry with him because this is probably his first week taking real first team snaps.
Hmm.
So, uh, I think the jury's still out on Jordan Love. So,
Yeah.
like I think he has potential to still be a good quarterback, but
Yeah. I'm not writing him off right away.
yeah,
I'm just saying I think it helped a lot with how confident as a person Aaron Rodgers is. He's always
yeah,
been that way ever since he was at Cal.
yeah,
So I think if Jordan Love can find that confidence in himself
yeah.
to be that starting guy, especially if Aaron Rodgers leaves, then I
Hmm.
think he could be a good passer.
But also Aaron Rodgers was not really that good for like 3 years when he just started.
Hmm.
But like it took Aaron Rodgers like 6 years to break in, and when he did, he won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Super Bowl and 3 MVPs. I mean, there's not much you can argue with,
yeah, Arizona. Next game, Arizona versus San Francisco.
I had picked this game way before Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah,
had been reported as out, and I didn't change it all. Once I saw that they were out, I was like, you know what, Colt McCoy, he's got it.
He maybe Shanahan maybe on the hot seat.
Oh yeah, yeah. We'll see. Because Kyle Shanahan, he obviously comes from a long lineage or a good lineage
Yeah.
of play callers with Mike Shanahan.
Yeah,
And I
but
think Kyle's. Go ahead.
I think they're going to give him till Trey Lance gets in to make that decision.
Yeah, I don't think there probably won't be any firing or changing of coaches this year,
Yeah.
because they've been so up and down with quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
I think if Trey Lance is the starter next year, and I'm only saying if because with San Francisco you never know.
Yeah.
But if he is, and say they don't make the playoffs, or they're not right
competitive.
outside of it, if they don't have somewhat of a winning season, then Shanahan could be looking at losing his job.
Yeah. I mean, another guy I thought should have been in the hot seat last year, Kingsbury, is looking like a damn fine coach now.
Yeah, I mean it's hard not to win with their roster. I mean,
Yeah.
they have an unbelievable offense, and Isaiah Simmons has really stepped into his own this
Yeah.
year, which I was really happy to see. And Buda Baker is just a phenomenal
he's
safety.
One of the best in the league, probably.
Absolutely.
I mean, who would you take better than him?
Then Buda Baker?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Because safety is a position that doesn't really get talked about a lot.
Yeah, I mean safeties, other than like Earl Thomas and guys like that, guys who are on that upper echelon of all-time safeties, you don't really hear about them all that often. Which is kind of a compliment to a defensive player.
Yeah. You have McCourty,
he could be up there.
I think Buda Baker's probably better than most of these guys, but I'm just spitting some names out. You got John Johnson, Tyrann Mathieu, who...
No. I think he's overrated at this point in his career.
But he may be...
J.C. Jackson? Is he a safety or
no,
corner?
No, he's a corner.
Yeah.
But my memory doesn't really go back this far, but I'm pretty sure he was like the first Tyrann Mathieu was like the first safety that was like almost like a linebacker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then Jamal Adams came along and just glorified it,
Yeah. So
yeah, I would say Buda Baker's probably number one.
Yeah. Yeah, he's up there. That's for sure. But
okay, Arizona's getting bit by the injury bug a little bit. Chandler Jones dealing with his injury, and then you got J.J. Watt dealing with his, DeAndre Hopkins and Kyler Murray missing last game.
Hopkins really was inactive this last two games for the most part.
Yeah, really. The Green Bay game, he had that first big play that got called back. But yeah,
kind of.
I would agree with that. If they don't fix the injury situation, they're looking. It's going to look like it's probably going to spiral out of control. And Kyler and DeAndre Hopkins are still questionable. I know DeAndre Hopkins didn't practice today, at least. So we'll have to see if they can get it under control. I think they can do without J.J. Watt, but if they can get it under control, then I think they'll be fine and they'll be a deep playoff contender. But it's not looking great.
Next game, Tennessee versus L.A. The Ram. What a smackdown!
This was a good one.
I mean, they made it kind of close.
Kind of. The Rams looked so uncomfortable in their own building,
Well, they just added a certain special next south son of Cleveland, so.
Oh yeah. I think that additional help. But I don't know what it was. The Titans defense has been awesome these past couple weeks. And to be able to disrupt the Bills the Chiefs and the Rams.
Yeah.
Oh, back to back to back, or not back to back. Like obviously they didn't play them all back to back, but to be able to have those big performances, really it kind of gives you a sense of like safety without Derrick Henry.
But honestly, I thought I thought Stafford played worse than he had like most.
Yeah, he had his occasional bad game.
Yeah.
With Detroit, he was the only reason Detroit won any games, but he did have bad games.
And but I think that's pretty much was all there is really to say about that game. Stafford did not play well, and your favorite game this week is next.
Yes,
Chicago versus Pittsburgh.
I don't know if there has ever been a worse officiated game. If you can think of one, I'd love to hear it. But it just seems so horrible. You know what I mean? Like,
there are probably some worse calls.
Oh yeah.
But
I think the calls in the big moments was what made it so horrible for me. Is you have I was listening to Around the NFL podcast this week, and they were talking about Marsh, the linebacker for the Bears, who had been cut by the Steelers in the preseason, makes a huge play late in the game, and he stands. Yeah, they gave him a taunting call for that when he's just standing there, and when he gets hip checked by the referee as well. There were so many questionable calls in this game that was so annoying, and the fact that the Bears almost pulled it off against the Steelers, I feel like that really would have been the nail for the Steelers season. They had been able to pull off a couple games, but gosh, it was annoying.
No, hold on. I saw a post on Instagram that showed like all like the the stats for like the refs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had well over 100 yards against the Bears.
Yeah. Penalties called 12, 112 total yards, 6 missed calls, 1 awful taunting call, 10 gifted points to the.
Yep. Without those calls, if it had been officiated better, the Bears would have won this, and Justin Fields would have had his first like signature win.
Yeah, and Marsh got ejected too, right? Two
Marsh.
Two personal or two unsportsmanlike conduct penalties.
I don't know if he had gotten ejected. I don't believe so. He might have. I didn't see that part.
Dude, if he got cut,
if he did, I missed it.
If he got cut because of that, then bro, Steelers need to give him a lifetime supply of money.
Yeah, man. Well, no, he had been cut by the Steelers in the preseason.
No, but they pretty much just ended his.
Oh yeah.
Because who's really going out their way to pick up Marsh?
Not a lot of people. I mean, some teams might give him a chance now, but nobody is clamoring for him.
Yeah. Was the one where the ref hip checked the player? Was that a third down too?
I believe so. I mean, when you start making those calls late in the game,
and you're on like the third down too.
Yeah, you're killing the other team.
Yeah.
And Justin Fields is having such a phenomenal game. I mean, they started out slow, but he actually started to turn it on and really play to his strengths, running outside the pocket and throwing. Yeah. And once he started doing that, it was like, oh my god, like the Bears are gonna pull this off. And I'm a closet Bears fan. I cheer for them when they're not playing the Cowboys.
I had a Bears fan on like a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Actually, the video I showed you, the video I sent you of what we would be doing is pretty much. He was the Bears fan I had on.
The Bears, I love them, but I like the defensive heritage. That's what gets me.
Yeah.
But Justin Fields was playing so well, and then they just get absolutely screwed by the refs. I mean, it's a win that for the Steelers that they're gonna hold on to tight because they're gonna need it.
But I feel like the Steelers, whenever they win, it's always such an ugly game.
Oh yeah,
because that's the way they need to play. They need to play ugly. They need to. Hypothetically grind it out, and
I haven't thought of a Steelers win in recent memory that hasn't been one that's either been close or just like his one that's like hard to watch.
Yeah, like the Browns game was ugly.
Like that was bad.
Like Like I remember Texans Steelers fan being like, "Hey, bro, this game is so bad. Can't both teams lose?" Like as like a Browns fan, I'm like, "Can we both lose?" And we were winning when I said that too.
Yeah, that's horrible. When you're wishing upon your own team, that's when you know it's bad.
Hey, an eye for an eye, I'll take it. But and like the thing is, I like some like the Steelers. Like I like Najee Harris. Like he seems like a good dude.
Mm-hmm. Did you see that they had that story about them on Monday Night Football where they were saying about how when he went to Alabama that he was like sleeping on the floor and he actually wasn't.
Yeah,
like, they were like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, and he tweeted like, I never slept on a damn floor in college."
I was like, "What are you talking about, man?" It even sounded weird. It's like you've been homeless, and then you go to college where they'll give you a bed, and it's like, "Nah, I'm gonna sleep on the floor." It's like, huh? Like that doesn't make any sense.
But like, when I heard it, it was like, what? Like I just kind of looked like weird at it, like.
Yeah, I was like, what did you just say?
Because like, I can see a world where that happens because they're just so used to it.
Mm-hmm.
But
it doesn't make any sense when you talk about it like that. It's like, what don't
I mean,
just keep going. Don't worry about that.
I mean, it's like I mean, like this probably by high school he would have been used to getting like some form of like a compensation, because that's what pretty much what colleges do with recruits. They give them like something, like obviously the Joe Burrow story, dude got compensated with a bunch of crawfish.
Yeah, it's fucking weird, man.
Tonight's game, Ravens versus Miami.
I am the biggest Ravens fan on the planet tonight.
Ravens.
Why? I have their defense.
Oh. Well, I don't think Jacoby Brissett's doing much, so I think he got lucky.
Yeah. Jacoby Brissett, I don't know why he's not starting right now. I feel like
No,
I know
he is.
No, I mean like overall, I feel like Miami just like has so many issues with Tua. Like even when Tua's healthy, you know what I mean? I feel like they have so many issues with him that are just off-field things, and I don't think he's gonna stay there. That I feel like they should just start Brissett overall.
I don't think it's Tua though. I don't think it's Tua's fault.
No, I don't either.
I mean, like,
I think the organization just hasn't taken a liking to him, and I think they want to take a different direction.
Dude getting the Josh Rosen treatment. He has one bad season, he's out.
Exactly. So Josh Rosen was always trash.
I mean, honestly, I feel like he deserved a shot though.
Mm-hmm.
And he never really got one, so that's my problem with the Josh Rosen. He never really got one.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, and it seems like Tua's getting the same kind of treatment. Like he's not really getting a chance.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Because I know some people would be like, "Hey, yeah, what are you talking about there?" But it can't be easy on a second-year player hearing all the rumors about, you're going to Houston next, probably.
I can't even believe that Miami's even entertaining the thought of signing Deshaun Watson. Like obviously they can't anymore. They still could.
Well, it has to be a trade.
Yeah, or unless the Texans cut him, can they cut him?
Yeah, but
so unless it's something like that. But I still can't believe that they're even entertaining the thought.
Yeah. But, I mean, Miami has more problems than just quarterback play, so.
Yeah. It's a good place to start, though.
Yeah. I mean, like their defense has been, surprisingly bad, this year.
Mm-hmm.
And opinions have flipped on Brian Flores so much. Like I remember like
Yeah,
last year.
he was he was a renowned play caller last year. But I think with the lack of talent this year, it's more difficult for him to have a bigger impact on the game.
Well, I don't really think it's so much his like play calling because he he didn't really call the offense last year
Yeah,
because his specialty is more defense.
yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Is that's that like whenever I heard anything about Miami's defense, it was always top balls, top balls, top balls. You know what I mean? So,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it's just the lack of talent.
Next game Dallas at Atlanta or versus Atlanta. I think Dallas has a bounce back game.
Yeah, I think the Falcons had their upset win, if you will, last week.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be one of those games where you have your team that's more built for the postseason.
I mean,
Really lay a hammer down.
I think it's gonna be closer than,
Hmm.
but also, pe- like I've been listening to some like Cowboys fans being like, oh, they've come back from adversity before. I'm like, what are you talking about? No, they have not.
No,
They have
not
not had
really.
much adversity this year.
No, not this year at all. Unless the only game that's even been remotely close, um, since the Buccaneers game was the Chargers game, and it was a hairline finish.
but
You know.
but my thing is a loss to the Buccaneers is not really is not really um damn it, what was the word I was
Uncommon.
what
Uncommon, maybe.
no no I literally just said it and I forgot it. uh,
No, that Buccaneers game was a lot closer than
no,
the
it's
stat
not
line say.
it's not controversy I'm looking for. It's um okay, whatever. Yeah, let's just move on then. Next game, Jacksonville versus Indianapolis.
I don't think Indy's going to make the same mistake that the Bills did, and they've been playing some fantastic football. Carson Wentz been playing really well past couple of weeks.
I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking about picking, even though I did it, even though I did that last week, like with the Giants versus Raiders. I'm like, I think the Giants are gonna win, but my friend talked me out of it, and he was like, "No, pick the Raiders," and I'm like, okay. And I literally said it then. I just have a feeling that the Giants are gonna win this game.
No, I picked the Giants for sure in that game.
Next game, New England
Yeah, go ahead.
versus Cleveland. Half the
I'm
Browns running back
sorry.
room has COVID, but
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
think.
really hoping Nick Chubb comes back.
I think. I mean, I think we're supposed to be getting JOK back, so. And Baker has a foot thing that just came out, so.
I'm taking New England in this one. I think they're on their hot streak, and I think it's just going to keep rolling. They're not as injury prone as the Browns are right now.
Yeah.
They're well coached. They're young. Mac Jones doesn't really make a lot of bad throws.
Well,
Um,
well,
as long as they can protect him.
I'm not really sure how much I would call them young. How much I would call them a young team because they do have some old spots.
Yeah, that's true. I would say just based off of Mac Jones himself.
Okay.
And Jacoby Myers isn't that old. Neither is Damian Harris. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, I think if JOK plays, then their odds go way up because this guy is a beast. I'm not sure if you know too much about JOK, but he is net. He has great instincts for the ball and
Mm-hmm.
just like when he plays, like you could see a difference.
Okay.
Like he's one of those linebackers that goes like sideline to sideline, like an oversized like safety. So
Well, we'll definitely see with this one.
yeah. Well, I'm think I'm gonna get the game because, you know, whole New York problems.
Yeah.
and they're gonna want to show me the. I have to watch the Cowboys versus Atlanta. I'm gonna be so upset because like every time I have to watch the Cowboys versus. Every time I have to watch the Cowboys when the Browns are playing, I get so frustrated. Like I understand like if it's like a good game, but like no, I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch the. It might have been the Giants in a primetime. I'm like, no, this is not the game of the week. I don't care about this.
Yeah, the game of the weeks can sometimes be very questionable.
Yeah. Next game, Buffalo versus New York. Buffalo should
absolutely steamroll these guys. This is kind of like the Dallas game where I think it's gonna be like a bounce back, kind of just punishment game.
Detroit versus Pitt. Oh my. I don't think Detroit needs to get bailed. I don't think Pittsburgh needs to get bailed out in this one.
Absolutely not. I think Detroit's just too big of a hole. Jared Goff is just not. I mean, he's a system quarterback, and he is not in a good system.
I mean, honestly, I like Detroit, but like they just I like for like the same reason I like the Texans. Like they fight hard, just talent wins out.
Mm-hmm.
Like as simple as Pittsburgh has some talent on their roster. Detroit does not really.
Yeah.
I mean, like, they have, like, a few good players, but, like...
I mean, T.J. Hawkinson and Jamal Williams are really the only bright spots. And Hawkinson relies on Jared Goff to be able to get him the ball, And,
honestly, I don't think Goff has played that bad this year.
It's not so much that he hasn't been that bad. It's just he's not that difference maker that a quarterback should be. He's not...
Yeah, he's not
a
going
good
to carry
replacement for Matt Stafford. Exactly. And that's what you need from him.
Next game, New Orleans versus Tennessee.
This is a fun one, because I think the Saints do have the ability to pull off the win against Tennessee, but they shouldn't.
Without some Jameis magic, I don't think they could do it.
No,
because my thing with Jameis Winston was he would have a good game, he'd have a really good game, then he would have a bad game. And he would just keep going back and forth between Superman and some who just found kryptonite.
Yeah. I think it's if the Titans defense can continue to play as they are. It's not when the Titans defense doesn't play well, Julio Jones has been not that great this year. AJ Brown relies on Ryan Tannehill to not be the Miami version of Ryan Tannehill. And without Derrick Henry to bail out Ryan Tannehill, you have a lot of problems.
You have a lot
I'm taking
balancing
Tennessee.
on Tannehill.
Yeah, I'm taking Tennessee, but there are a lot of issues that the Saints could pose for the Titans.
Okay, wild card rematch in this game. Tampa Bay versus Washington. Tampa
Riveting.
Bay. No, I mean Washington's defense is not the same as it was last year.
No, it's not.
Like, I think 80% of people had Washington probably winning the division, or
definitely.
At least 60%. Maybe 20 to the Giants and the rest.
I think it was before Dallas's defense had improved, and I mean Fitzpatrick. Yeah. he can lead your team if you give him enough weapons. He's not going to do it by himself, but he can lead your team if you give him enough weapons.
Wait, is he still out?
Yeah, he's been out for a while.
Okay. And I don't think Heineke's a bad quarterback
win against the Giants.
But I don't think Heineke's that bad either. So.
No. But he's too young, and he's too inexperienced to kind of have the same effect that a Ryan Tannehill could have. No, not a Ryan Tannehill. Sorry, Ryan Fitzpatrick. And I don't really see anybody beating the Buccaneers right now at all. Yeah. Honestly, the Buccaneers have.
I don't know about the too young part. Heineke is 28.
Yeah, I mean he is 28. When I say young, I mean young, in his NFL experience.
Yeah, an experience. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what I mean. And the Bucks have been just phenomenal this year. I
Yeah.
mean, they've had, the upset win against the Saints, but I mean, when they beat people, they beat them decisively. And Tom Brady is just, for some reason, the older he gets, the better he plays.
Mm-hmm.
It's phenomenal.
But I feel like that game against New Orleans, they really beat themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like they had like a lot of penalty, like uncharacteristic penalties.
Yep, that makes sense.
And like Brady made some like really bad mistakes, but
You know what I was surprised with is that Odell Beckham Jr. didn't go to the Buccaneers.
well, they have so many options. Is he ever gonna get the ball?
I mean, who knows? It doesn't
I
matter.
mean, like,
I mean, they.
but like I think like the like even though like he's an upgrade probably over like their like number 4 and 5 guys. I think they're content with their wide receiver room right now.
Yeah, it was more just a joke with the fact that everybody decided to sign with Tampa Bay at once.
Yeah, but no, no, like that's like honestly like what I think what happened with the whole well back to Kaepernick, but that's what I think happened with them. Everyone was just content with their quarterback room.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're content with like I'm content with seeing how Baker plays.
Yep.
And seems like Keenum doesn't do that bad of a job of backing him up.
Yeah.
And like the Jets probably have one of the worst quarterback rooms. Are
Mike White's to go though.
I want to see how Zach Wilson and Mike. Who the hell is Mike White? I don't think the Jets even know who he is.
he that Colts game he started pretty well.
Yeah.
And then
and then he got injured. but I don't think at the beginning of the game the Jets even know who Mike White was. They're like, "Yo, who let this random college kid into our quarterback room?" As long as it's not Sam Darnold, okay, you're in. Next game, Carolina versus Arizona. Arizona should win this one easily.
Arizona should win this. We have never not seen somebody like Cam Newton be signed and then play and then pull off an upset win like this. Like that's happened before.
I mean, like
I'm not saying it'll happen, but it could.
His first game ever was against the Cardinals, so.
That is true. I'm taking the Cards in this one. I don't think that Cam Newton's going to pull it off, but it's not out of the NFL realm of like weirdness for that to happen.
We see some vintage Cam Newton.
I mean, we'll see some Superman probably. I mean, with how things went last week, anything can happen.
Next game, Minnesota versus the Chargers.
This is an interesting one.
Yeah.
Because they can both lose. Like they can both lose this game. In their own fashions. I would take the Chargers, but
yeah, I think
it's an odd one.
Also, I think the Chargers are going to come out more motivated too, because they have like Kansas City like right on their tail. They have
Kansas City is definitely turned up.
Well, I don't think Kansas City really is what they were, but
no. I think this is going to be a signature Vikings loss, though. I think it's going to be a competitive game, but towards the end, they're just going to implode. Kirk Cousins was really good at the start of the season, but he's not a quarterback that's just going to bail you out.
Chargers, Raiders, and the Broncos are all one game apart from each other.
Mm-hmm.
So they almost have to be looking forward.
Yeah, they definitely do. Those division games, whenever those ones pop up, you need to definitely pay attention to those.
Denver, I have them beating Philadelphia.
Yeah, I do too.
I think Bridgewater will have his team prepared for
I think they had their game of the year against Dallas. I'm not sure if they'll be like make the playoffs or make the wild card.
Yeah,
Um,
but this is a must-win game for them
yeah, definitely.
because they
Like
have to
every
keep up.
game is. Anybody that's in the AFC West,
Yeah.
it's a must-win game no matter what. You know, you can't lose anything. So yeah, it's a must-win game, but I don't see the Broncos going on some crazy tear. I think they'll beat up on teams like the Eagles, but I think they
Yeah.
had their win against a team that they should have lost to against Dallas.
Yeah.
Um, but this will be a fun one as well because I really enjoy watching Jalen
I
Hurts
mean,
and Devonta Smith.
but also, uh, uh, bringing it back to the AFC North, that that division's tight too,
Absolutely.
because Pittsburgh and the Ravens both have a game in hand over Cleveland, and since the Bengals, well, Bengals don't
Hmm.
play this week, uh, but they both have a game in hand over them. So a Ravens loss, it's a one game. It's a one game go.
Yeah,
It,
it's one game division.
yeah.
Yeah. But then you got the Bengals have the game over the Ravens,
Yeah.
and we haven't seen them play the Steelers this year. So
No, we have.
oh yeah, sorry, my bad, my bad.
Bengals did play the
I,
Steelers. I don't think the Ravens have
yeah,
played the Steelers.
my memory had failed me there, but yeah, it's a fun one. The division
Yeah.
games, like everybody's like all worried about like conferences and like, oh, who's gonna make the playoffs? It's like, well, it starts with the divisions,
Yeah.
and the divisions are so fun this year. Other than like the Tampa's division or Dallas's division, it's really the Browns and the Chiefs divisions with how
Mm-hmm.
open they are. That makes it so much more fun to watch this year.
Uh, Next game, which should be interesting. Do you know if Wilson's is back yet?
I have no idea because because I have him on fantasy as well, and they still haven't placed on IR. And I've read a lot of reports, not just the fantasy ones, but like a lot of reports saying that he is like activated for this game, but he's still on the injury report list. So I have no idea. I think he's playing. I mean, this was a game that he was projected to come back at.
Mm-hmm.
But even so, with Russell Wilson, as long as Aaron Rodgers is back, which I'm assuming he will be, with his COVID protocols, um, being
Yeah.
up, I'm pretty sure soon. They had the fine and all that stuff sent out to him. If Aaron Rodgers is in this game, then I'm taking Green Bay. This is like an if game for me,
Yeah.
which kind of sucks. Because of the whole COVID thing, but even with Russell Wilson, I think the defense is just not good enough. It's just not good enough with the Packers' offense. They're just
No.
not good enough to win this.
No, but I think they was fun if they came like a gentleman's agreement. They were like, okay, we won't play our starting quarterback.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna play Geno Smith and
and
Jordan Love.
rather than
Which
two of the best passers in the past 15 years.
yeah, which Smith did not really do that. Smith when he was in did not really play that bad.
No, Gino's definitely found his mojo. I wouldn't say his mojo, but he's found his
Yeah,
speed when it comes to playing in Seattle.
yeah.
Um, but Jordan Love hasn't done the same thing, and it's just all up in the air. These teams
Yeah.
are a mess.
Mm-hmm. Um, Packers while winning the division.
Yeah, yeah. The Packers are running away with their division.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah. Um, Next game, Kansas City versus Las Vegas.
Big game, big division game.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Chiefs. I'm gonna ride the Chiefs, the wave that they're on. I'm gonna ride it until they sputter out
have
again.
no I don't know this game. I don't know about this game because like my thing is like you can only deal with drama for so long before it starts to eat you up.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was tired with the Odell drama after like 2 days. I was like enough
Yeah,
of
for
this.
2
I'm
days.
done.
No, that was unfortunate because I liked him and Jarvis Landry being together. But on the Chiefs and the Raiders
Yeah.
is I'm taking the Chiefs only because they have been playing better, but not that much better. But they've been
Yeah.
able to pull off the wins. The Packers won it's a mulligan because you don't have Aaron Rodgers out there. They lose that game if Aaron Rodgers isn't there. And they had the win against the Giants that they barely pulled off. But I think when it comes to division games, I think the Chiefs are gonna kind of
Which
tighten their
I
chin
mean,
straps and pull it off.
they did lose to the Chargers, so.
They did lose to the Chargers,
Also, that game
but
was kind of like
I'm not
crazy.
sure. I'm not sure if the Raiders are on the same play and that game was insane. But I'm not sure if the Raiders are on the same
Yeah.
plane as the Chargers.
Honestly, I feel like if Mahomes does not turn the ball over and is able to play well, then yeah, this game won't be that close.
Mhm. But I mean, this game could also be close either way because the Raiders are such a pass-heavy team. Even though Josh Jacobs is a great running back,
Yeah,
with Darren Waller being back from injury, not just this week but the week prior, and Hunter Renfrow is questionable right now, but he's still in.
yeah,
So without Henry Ruggs, they're still a pass-heavy team. And I could see them, beating up on a really, really horrible Chiefs secondary.
yeah. Okay. Let's move on before I change our mind. Uh, this game should drop the. This game should drop the prime time. Our Monday Night Football slot.
Yeah,
Uh,
this
it's
one I think is decided.
yeah. I mean, it's a nice game where they can kind of like bring Odell up to speed.
hmm
So
I the Rams and the 49ers.
yeah,
I'm taking the Rams. I think just like Dallas, just like Buffalo, I think they're gonna have a comeback game to beat up on the 49ers with. I think the Niners are just gonna keep looking for production in their rookies like Elijah Mitchell, who has been doing really well these past couple
yeah,
weeks when he came back from injury, and Deebo Samuel has been really consistent all year, and Brandon Ayuk finally had his resurgence last game. Even though they lost against the Cardinals, he finally came back and started to produce more. So I think that's what the 49ers are going to be
yeah.
looking for.
And don't forget to hit submit.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, that'll do it for this episode. Thank you for being on. Hope y'all enjoyed. Have a good one, and I'm out.